Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, everyone across the world. We are back with another banger, and this is the 614 Ben. We got my main man, and it is called the 614 Ben. It wouldn't be that without my main man, Post. And I'm gonna introduce him coming all the way from South Bend, Indiana, bending that air over there, Notre Dame heaven, Indianapolis Colt. How you feeling this evening? I greatly appreciate you being here as we get into what we dive into this evening.
Yeah, it's all good, Moss, man. I'm happy to be on with you once more to cook about these NBA final games. I appreciate you having me, man. How you doing today?
Man, feeling pretty good, man. It's a pretty steamy one here in the city, man. It feel like it's about 100 degrees a day. It was in the high 80s, man, but it felt like every bit of 100 degrees, man. But I can't complain, man. Had an off day, switching some things around with the schedule so we could bring more cooks to the people. And we not talking about it in the kitchen, but that's something I'm gonna be doing. And I'll let you know about that later on in the topics as we discuss. But here for the NBA finals, game 4. We talking about it all. It's been so many things that's happened since game 3, post game. Talk to me, my brother. What before we get into it, what things have you seen in these last couple days as we embark on this masterful game 4 that we have tonight here in about an hour that's going to be tipping off?
Well, I've seen it's like a heavyweight boxing match. Two teams just exchanging devastating blows, and it's just been a heavyweight boxing match.
Yeah,
None of these teams want to lose. These have been or four great, or yeah, three great games thus far. I
yeah,
picked New York at the beginning. I called New York in six, and I don't have a dog in this fight. Neither of these teams are my favorite team. I just
yeah.
analyzed what I saw from the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference, and I made my prediction that way.
Yes,
So
sir.
this is a heavyweight fight. I expect a tough game 4 tonight. And as opposed to game 3, when the Spurs were the favorite, or not the favorite, but in a must win situation,
Yeah.
I think now the New York Knicks are in a must win situation.
Yes, sir.
It's something interesting in this finals, Moss.
Talk to me.
Neither team has won on their home court thus far.
Yeah.
And I think New York is going to be extremely important for them to get a W tonight. They don't want to go back to Texas
Yeah.
with a 2-2 NBA final series.
Man, I totally agree. And we appreciate everyone tuning in. And we see we got Man Man Renovate. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Tuning in from Java, Indonesia. We greatly appreciate that. And we see Celeb Blocks tuning in, G4D. We appreciate you. And when, for me, talking about this NBA finals, man, like you said, it's like New York must win. Everything built up for that game 3. I picked the Spurs in 7. And then I'm coming to the thoughts of, if the Spurs get this game tonight, I'm taking the Spurs in 6, possibly, post, because the way that they've been playing, throughout the playoffs, like you said, East, West, the Spurs team have been playing in a different manner, as you would say. They've approached it as business like they did in game 3. I think they approach it the same way tonight. As we gonna get into those talks about game 4, it's just a great thing to see what we have seen. And this is a turning point in series that we've seen in the past. We've seen Steph Curry and the Warriors go to Cleveland and get a big game 4 win, shooting the 3 ball at an excellence, record setting performances in the NBA finals on those feet. So we've seen series in the NBA finals change. And it's about a 55% chance that that team that's playing away in game 4 can come out and win those finals. We got our man also Parlay Poe in the building. We appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you go follow that Blitzberg podcast channel as well. And we have Shayna tuning in as well. Cheyenne 0021 tuning in. Sorry about the mistake on that. And we just want to dibble and dabble into our thoughts about this NBA Finals Game 4. What are your thoughts on Game 4 tonight? Just when we think about Game 4, we're going to get into everything that's been going on with the fans' craziness. But Game 4 tonight, what's your thoughts when it comes to Game 4?
I love the NBA Finals. I love this matchup in particular.
Oh, yeah.
There's been talk about the physicality of this matchup, the referee, and or how they choose to referee this matchup. You gotta remember, Moss, San Antonio shot, I believe, 10 more free throws than the New York Knicks on New York's home court. So the way they referee Game 4 is something to look at and look forward to. Are they going to let them play? Are they not going to let them play? Are they going to tilt it in one direction like they did Game 3? Because I believe in Game 3, San Antonio shot like 20 free throws in the second half.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And another thing is the physicality. A lot of people were talking about how, Wemby got away with pushing Brunson down. I thought that should have been a flagrant foul. They let him get away with one.
Yeah.
So are the New York Knicks going to try to retaliate tonight? I hope they don't. They can't let things like that knock them off the tracks. They got to be focused. So I think guys like Karl Anthony Towns have to be more assertive on the offensive end if the Knicks are going to get a victory tonight. Jalen Brunson, there's been a lot said about his shooting percentage.
Yeah.
I mean, but think about this, Moss. I know you was a big time hooper.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
When you play, San Antonio is an extremely difficult matchup. I mean, they're extremely good on defense.
Yeah. Right.
Because when you got a guy like Castle harassing you, and this is Brunson I'm talking about, and you get past Castle and you got a 7'5" giant in the paint waiting on you. So there's been a lot there's been a lot said about his shooting percentage, but you got to think against the Cleveland Cavaliers, Brunson shot 48%. Against the Philadelphia 76ers, Brunson shot 46%. So now he's down in the 30s, I believe. Well, that's because San Antonio is a great defensive team.
Agree.
So I would look for Brunson to facilitate more, and then come the fourth quarter, the end of the game, be that closer.
Yeah.
Mikal Bridges has to step up offensively. Karl Anthony Towns has to step up offensively. Those guys have to step up if the Knicks are going to get the win. Now, on the Spurs end, I would like to see Big Wemby get more paint touches. I would like to see him score easier baskets as opposed to taking deep three-pointers and long jump shots. They just have to continue to play the type of defense they've been playing. Their role players have been making a lot of clutch three-point shots, and they'll be fine.
I totally agree, and I like when you say the length, and when you refer to being that basketball player, that's something, because that could have a big effect. You have to adjust your game. If we really think about it, we haven't seen a floater out of Brunson. That was one of my specialties. That's part of a bag that no one really knows that he has in his arsenal. I think you see a couple more floaters. I think they have to swing that ball. Like you said, Cat, he has to make himself available. You got to demand that basketball in the post. You got to put that body on Wemby like you have been out throughout the series, but we know it's only so much you could do to a player as great as Wemby. You could only contain a man so long before he break out and bust loose. And we might see a 40 ball tonight after we've seen an efficient 11 of 18 for 32. And we see what he's doing on the defensive side. When Wemby gets blocks, when he's active around that rim, it makes things happen for San Antonio. And for the game to have been as close as it was, just think about the game before. Wemby stepping up, being that bigger factor, being around the rim. They squeaked out another big game in the playoffs on the road. It was a game 7 in OKC that prepared them for this game 3 and game 4 that they have tonight in New York. So, for me, I think the adjustments is like you said, Shamet has to definitely step up big tonight. I noticed Clarkson played some minutes in the game. He shot very well, actually. I don't know if, things like that play a part in how someone's push is, how their drive, how that dog is in them in that game. So for me, I think Shamet need to step up. He was 1 for 8 overall, 1 for 7 from 3. So I think that played a big factor. And for me, speaking on San Antonio, we know what De'Aaron Fox, we know what Harper has been for him both ways, offensively, defensively, trying to find where they're at throughout this series. But I think last game, I really thought about this post. They shot 9 for 32, but they had 25 points, 12 rebounds, 12 assists, 2 turnovers between the both of them. You getting a triple-double, and that's a big triple-double, 25, 12, 12, 2 turnovers. You can't ask for a better game than that, and the big shots time after time, the step back from Harper, the big shot in the last seconds from Fox, maybe the biggest shot of his career. And you talking about he's played in NBA playoffs, game 7s, you name it. But I think that answered a lot of critics and how he's been performing. So for me, I think that's some of the things to look at. San Antonio must rebound a lot better. They have to dominate the paint, I think, to get this game. And that physical side, they have to win that battle to secure this game 4 and possibly go on and try to take the series. As the records show, that game 4 road team is dangerous. In San Antonio, you got Victor Wembanyama, you got D Harp, Dylan, special young king, De'Aaron Fox finding his rhythm. I think this San Antonio Spurs team can get one tonight in the Garden and make this an even tighter series.
Yeah, shout out to my man. It's me, Ballard, man. That's my homie. When we was kids, when we were kids, he was always Kobe. I was always Shaq. And if you don't mind, bro, oh my bad.
No,
I was going to that same one. This is a huge and great point. He said Knicks got to move the ball around more. Brunson can't keep playing Castle at full court all series. He will get tired. Yeah, that's a good point, man. I mean, yeah. Brunson definitely has to facilitate tonight. I'm leaning on Brunson having a huge game in game 4 at home. I think Brunson is going to explode, bro.
Yeah, I agree. I think he definitely has to have a big game. He got to facilitate, because the one thing that I was looking for was him to close in game 3. We didn't see him get to the free throw line, and how you spoke on those final 6, final 7 minutes of a game. And in these games, you could take that final 7, you could chop it down and look at the final 350. You could break it down in different segments, and you didn't see what we seen in the previous 2 games of Brunson late in the game, getting himself ready at the free throw line to get warmed up for that stretch or that push to make the big shots that he has been making throughout this series. So I agree. He definitely has to have a big game tonight. And Nicholas, we appreciate those comments and appreciate you tuning in, as well as It's Me, Ballard. We appreciate you as well. Said this series reminds me when Giannis went down 0-2 against Phoenix. This is something special. And Giannis was a different man coming out of that series, coming out of everything when you speak on being that title holder to this day. I think man, we got so many talks to talk about when we talk about Giannis as well, but that's something that I definitely looked at. And I think Bridges also need to step up. You spoke on him. I think he has to play probably the biggest game of his New York playoff career tonight, defensively, or offensively. Because if you put it all together, we know the type of player he is and what he brings to the table. He brings something to the table that every GM, every organization wants a Mikal Bridges on their team. We know what he's capable of doing night in, night out. I think that's what we have to see out of him, out of Brunson, out of Carl Anthony Towns. OG, he's been like a OG from the hood. One of them OGs from the hood posts that always giving you knowledge, always gonna be there. Kind of remind me of Parlay Pope. You know what I mean? He just out there doing what he do. He's consistent. He's not gonna stop, and he's there. So that's something to look at. Who plays outside of OG? Josh Hart got to hit them big shots tonight. Definitely have to hit those threes. And I think the way he's shooting, I mean, the way he plays all around kind of covers up, but it's definitely being seen in these playoffs and in these finals, the way San Antonio plays and defend.
Yeah, for me, bro, Mikal Bridges, 2 points is not gonna cut it, sir. You have to be more assertive. You have to be more aggressive. This is win or go home. You in the NBA finals. This is legacy. And you
Yeah.
putting up 2 points. It's not gonna cut it. They need more production out of him if they're gonna defeat the Spurs tonight for sure.
Yeah. We see another comment coming up. We appreciate you at Timmy1818 at Timmy18188. He said, all I'm going to say, if this New York Knicks team lose tonight in the series gets tied, the New York Knicks fans will turn on the Knicks. You will hear the doubt, and that's because they're not champions. And wow, speaking of the Knicks fans, man, it's me as a basketball player. I've been to places, the student section rocking, but the fans of the New York streets, man, that's unacceptable. Um, for me, it hurt my heart seeing some of those, if not all of them, because that's not what you're supposed to do. That's not good sportsmanship. And I think that's just showing that the San Antonio Spurs team did something to y'all. Y'all thought it was going to be all good, man, but it wasn't. They got Wemby. They got a team. They got a great coach. And we seeing his young self even when he walked the streets. Anything you got to say about just what we've seen, with the fan base? I'm not for sure if you've seen any of the videos, but I've seen quite a few of them. I was not happy in what I seen. I think that's just sad. That's something that you definitely got to talk about.
No, I really don't have anything to say about it because I probably didn't see what you're talking about. But I will say this, man, that they hungry. You ever see a hungry lion? The thing is, bro, they haven't had a championship since Richard Nixon was president of the United States.
Yeah,
So imagine how hungry for a championship those fans are. But I mean, I haven't seen what you're referring to, but you know, those New York Knicks fans are crazy.
yeah. He said, it's me, Ballard. He said it was some gang activity, man. It was. I had to send a few to you, but outside of that, we appreciate the comments. And Nick said Champagne has been quiet as well. He got to step up. That's the guy. Definitely got to step up. Your brother been in here, and it's just something that you've played great in these playoffs. No disrespect to you, Champagne. You one of the guys. I even reposted one of your images when you banged on in the last series against OKC. He had an image and he played against him and he threw down a big dunk on Shet. So I shared that on a repost. But I definitely think, he got to step up tonight. It's a lot of players thinking of Keldon Johnson. It's like a Where's Waldo with Keldon Johnson. And I'm just speaking on what I'm seeing, throughout the games, game by game. I know he's a defensive prowess, but he's definitely a bucket getter in clutch moments for San Antonio. If you go back to how he's played throughout this season, playoffs a different time. Keldon Johnson, we looking for you. I think this is the time where you show up and you shine, especially on that defensive side of the ball. Anything you want to add to that on Campaign?
Yeah, Champagne is a key member of that team, man, and his defense, his shot making ability, he definitely has to play a part if the San Antonio Spurs are going to tie this series up 2-2.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I agree. Appreciate you tuning in. That's one take Zay 614 Ben. This fire, man. We appreciate it, man. We just some hungry men, and we not talking about what they sell on the store shelves. We talking about what we giving you right here, live and direct, straight authentic, coming live and correct, man. And I appreciate you as always, Post, being here and doing what we do every week, man. And Timmy with another comment, he said, Wimby Kryptonite is being physical. With San Antonio Spurs is the way to go. A team that likes to bully and finesse. They do not like to be bullied. I love what Brunson's father did. I can't,
Absolutely. This and that's the reason why I picked the Knicks before one game was played, is because I like when New York had, as far as Carl Anthony Towns and Michael, or was it Michael Robinson? Yeah,
yeah,
Mitchell Robinson.
Mitch Robinson.
I
Yeah,
like their physicality a lot more, and their heart a lot more than Shet and Hartenstein for OKC. And I still believe that those guys are going to be the X factor if New York is going to get the victory.
gotcha. Then he said, I'll give you an example, breaking it down, talking about most championships, chip teams like Boston, Lakers, Chicago, Philadelphia, teams that's, won several times being down 0-2. Definitely agree, man. We appreciate these comments coming in. Tucker D4D, we appreciate you. How's it going this evening? Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure for those viewing today, this evening with us, man, make sure you like and subscribe, not just to the video, but to the channels as well. You can go get a glimpse of everything we've been doing when it's talking about these playoffs and all the great things and what adjustments or strategies should New York Knicks make tonight. Know we spoke on some of them, just gonna run through the questions as we just been cooking up, which we love to do. So we kind of might forget the question and put it up there, but we cooking on it. Anything else you want to indulge on this adjustment of strategies?
Yeah, before I get to that though, I want to respond to some time 18188 said. He said
Yeah,
he was talking about being down 0-2. Absolutely, 100%, man. This is the NBA Finals. But you know what's interesting about this one, and I mentioned this earlier in the podcast, is that the 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 home team has not won one single game
yeah,
thus far in this series. So it is game four is going to be extremely interesting, bro, because I mean, if you going with the trend, San Antonio is going to win tonight. So
yeah.
can New York Knicks break that trend of the visiting team winning the game? It's going to be very interesting. As far as your question, Moss, what was your question?
I'm gonna get right to it. Since Timmy in here, I'm gonna respect what he doing, man. He commented, man, and then he showing us love, man. Most New York fans are like Steven, a snitch, stay hot and cold. They are not true fan. They jump on the bandwagon, jump off the bandwagon. I'd rather listen to you guys and than that ESPN fake news, bro. We appreciate you, man. When I say that's love, man, me and Post, we talk about this even when we get off stream, when we watching the games, man. That's why we do what we do. We try to bring y'all the juice every night, give us our own take, our own thoughts, nothing but authentic, man. It's the 614 Ben. It's coming from Columbus, and we going to South Bend, man. We over there where the fighting Irish at, and we got some smoke coming for y'all on that side. So make sure y'all tap, y'all like and subscribe to his channel because he got some great things on that Notre Dame team and so much more as well. And that question was based on the adjustments and strategies, for this game on the behalf of the Knicks. What do you think?
Well, it help if they would be equally, if they get equal calls by the referees. If that was a brutally physical game. This has been a really physical series.
Yeah,
Um, I think the other guys, man, like I said earlier, Carl Anthony Towns has to be more aggressive. Uh, Brunson has to be more of a facilitator. I know he likes to look for a shot. I know he's a scorer, but you got to get those other guys going. get their
Yeah.
confidence up, let them see that swish, that ball go through the hoop, and they'll be fine. I do think that Bridges scoring 2 points is criminal. He has to be more aggressive as well. They have
Yeah.
to give him the ball or set up some plays for him to be aggressive on the offensive end. And then when it comes down to that 5-4-3 minute mark, Brunson has to take him home. You got to be that closer. This is New York. Everybody knows about the Sandman, Mariano Rivera. When he came into the game, it was good night. The
Yes,
greatest
sir.
closer ever. Brunson
Yes,
has to
sir.
close tonight.
Man, I think you hitting it right on the nail, man. Like it ain't no other way. As we got some of the comments coming in, Timmy said they can't turn the ball over and they gotta get that ball into Cat's hands. It seemed like everybody is talking about Carl Anthony Towns, who we picked, as It's Me Ballard says the same thing, running offense through Carl. I think Carl Anthony Towns and Brunson have to, we picked those two as MVPs, at that point before game three, coming into game three. So I think these are the guys that definitely have to play tonight to make a difference in this series, in this game, to turn on that switch and get things going in the opposite direction. Like you said, the away team has been winning. I think it's only right that they have to step up for them to get that win tonight. We have more comments coming in as well. Timmy, we appreciate these comments with us this evening as well, brother. He said, Tony Brothers, Mark Davis, and the Foster brothers, especially the one that doesn't get along with Chris Paul. When you see those brothers, you know the game is going to go. And Mark Davis was in game three. Big thoughts on the referees going on. One take Zay in the building. He said, do you think the bright lights of Madison Square Garden affected the Knicks? What's your
I,
thoughts on that one?
mm, I don't think so. I think they were right there. They had an opportunity to win the game. Michael Bridges, for whatever reason, just needs to. If he has 10 points, they win this game. If he has 7 points, they win this game. They just need more production from him. I think New York will be fine. And
Yeah.
I think it could have been one of those things where the president of the United States is at the game. You got all these Nick legends at the game, former mayors, former governors. So
Yeah.
it may be, but I don't think so. I think they'll hold it down tonight.
Yeah. It's crazy. And Timmy coming in, he said, Tony Brothers is the reason why Minnesota Timberwolves lost. He had an issue with Minnesota Timberwolves coach. Y'all can go back and look at it. Detroit Cleveland series. Referees, same referees in the Lakers OKC. But it's basketball. We so used to so many things when it comes to the refs. I play basketball, so I kind of just let it be what it's gonna be. They missed a call. They didn't make a call. There's so many calls that could have been made throughout the first couple games that they missed. And then Deep Derby said, I'm gonna be real, Knicks fans don't deserve after yesterday game three aftermath. It was crazy. We're not gonna necessarily get into that. That's just, things happen. I can't control what their fans do. At the end of the day, the Spurs is here to take care of business. I do want to sorry for what did happen to those fans. Sending just the respect out to those people. But for me, thinking of game four, as we seeing everybody's picks roll in, I know you're going with the Knicks tonight, Post. What's your thoughts, man? I'm picking Spurs, man. I'm going Spurs. I'm taking win before another 30. I'm taking my boy De'Aaron Fox and Dylan Harper to both double back and not shoot so terrible, but have monster games in the Garden. Because if you really looked at it, they really played well. Like they just missed shots. And these are shots we've seen them hit. Now, when it comes to the bright lights, I think it affected maybe a couple players and, like you said, shooting that ball at times, but finally getting the rhythm. But overall, we see what they brought to the table. So I think Wemby 30, Harper and Fox have great games tonight. that's from that supporting cast of the Spurs team, just moving that ball and playing like they've always played.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think that Harper, De'Aaron Fox, those guys are key for the Spurs. De'Aaron Fox, y'all gotta remember, he was coming off an injury, so I think he's kind of playing himself into shape and
Yeah,
getting back to that level. Uh, but I think Harper is key off the bench. I don't know why at times in this series they go away from him. That kid can really go. I like his game, but I think those two guards are going to be key. I really like Castle and the job he's been doing on Brunson, harassing him, making it difficult. We talked about that field goal percentage earlier. So I mean, the Spurs, they can win. I got the Knicks, but I wouldn't be surprised if it went either way tonight.
man, that's good picks, man. Shout out to the comments again rolling in. And we got either Wemby is in foul trouble. Timmy coming in. He said either you get Wemby in foul trouble or you make them stop Cat. There's nobody on that team that can stop Cat, get them in foul trouble, make them bring Cornette in the game. That's a big point. That's a big point. And I think I had spoke on that. We spoke on that about how he's neutralized things for Wemby. And Wemby just came out, man. I think he was ready for Madison Square Garden, but I don't think the Garden is ready for Wemby because he got another game tonight post, and I think Wemby about to go off, man. So I'm going, I'm going San Antonio. I'm not going to say in a big win, but I like Wemby. I've been loving this cat since, like, it's been years I've been watching him. Like, I've watched him when people would comment like, this man's too thin, he's not going to be able to do this in the NBA. Shout out to all the haters, man. Y'all making Wemby great. And that's all I'm gonna say, man. That's all I'm gonna say when it comes to that. Go ahead. Post my back.
They said the same thing about Giannis.
Yeah.
See, Giannis was skinny like that too when he first came to the league, bro. Now he a monster. I know he's been going through a situation in Milwaukee, but I think once he gets out of Milwaukee, he's gonna get right back to what he's been doing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it's me, Baller. He said, shout out to Wemby. He went there and he went there in and went to the park and was painting and went to Madison Square Garden and did his thing. Yes, he did.
For sure.
Take Zay. He said, I think New York brings out more stars than LA does. What's your thoughts on that? That's a good take. One take.
Interesting. Yeah. I haven't seen the metrics on that, but I mean, New York, LA, I mean, those are two crazy cities when you talk about stars.
Yeah, definitely, man. New York, man. And when you, like, for me, like how people see the people like Adam Sandler in LA, for example. For me, you see Jadakiss in the Garden. This is Jadakiss. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people, if you don't know, you don't know. But if you know, you know. Jadakiss is legendary, just period, man. Some of the raps that he's made has been in every commercial on the sports era. I mean, it's just something special, man, for me. So I think that's something that we're going to definitely look into and check the metrics, and we're going to come back to you on that one take. And that's a great question as well. And Timmy, he said he don't think that bright lights didn't affect the Knicks. It should have affected San Antonio. If anything, they are one hell of a young team in the finals, and they show me something. And he doubled back, and he said, I don't know how long y'all been watching basketball, but Stern always wanted to make New York the next West Coast of basketball on the east side and generates money. My brothers, money is the key. And right now, San Antonio got the money with Wemby. In that way, he's taking over the Garden now. But I agree. I feel where he's coming from. I mean, I don't really look into it. What you think about that one, Post?
He said money is the key, and he's 100% correct because money is the reason why San Antonio is still in this series.
Yeah. And I feel him on that because that's the part that, like, some of the other stuff I don't really get into, but it's going to be tough for them to get this series, man. I just think San Antonio, the way they playing, that's just what it's looking like right now. And he said these Euro cats are the truth. Man, we talked about that. how I think that was in one of the What If series or one of the iconic performances, how the league has been changing with the way the MVP, some of these players has been winning the last few years. Just looking at a lot of that, how the landscape is changing. Timmy said David Stearns was a New York guy. Some piece of David. Anytime they talk about a team that hasn't won a championship in a long time, they normally win. If Wemby outside today and at a skating park with his family, Spurs win by 8. I like that take, Ballard. I like that take. I like that take. And the crazy thing, they was heckling him today outside his hotel room. They said, "We see you, Wemby. So just what you saying that I think Wemby did go outside. I think he did hit up a skating park or chill with his family. Spurs win by 8. I'm with you, Ballard, because I got the Spurs in 7. So we know we got about 19, 20, 25 minutes around that time for the game. Any thoughts, Post? Because, we're going to come short fast, and I ain't going to say fast, but we're going to come short. We're going to be here brief. It's going to be long enough to give you something to think about as we get you ready for Game 4 of the NBA Finals tonight. Anything you got to talk to the people about this big Game 4 tonight? Anything you think about Game 4 before we get out of here? Just any thoughts?
Yeah, I want to see how aggressive Brunson will be. Like I said earlier, I think he should focus on getting the other guys involved first, and then when we get down to the nitty gritty, he should take over offensively. But Michael Bridges, I think he might come out with a vengeance. I am picking the Knicks tonight. I think they go up 3-1. They got to break that chain of the away team winning on the home court of this in this series currently. So I want to see Michael Bridges. OG Anunoby has been a monster, bro.
Yeah.
And I think last year I said that I think he's one of those guys who doesn't realize how good he actually is. Well, I think he actually realizes that now. I think OG Anunoby is key as well. Those other guys, the bench players, they got to make shots, man. It's the Knicks got. You know what? I'm gonna say this, and I might be wrong, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks blew them out tonight.
Ooh. I like that take because I haven't heard that take. I haven't heard that take, and I might not have caught everything today throughout some of the networks or missed something, but I haven't heard that. And OG, like you said, he been on one. He been a real OG. When you want to go see an OG for anything, guess what? Go get Anunoby. He gonna get a bucket. He gonna lock up, and he gonna do what it do, man. So I definitely like what you speak on OG, and even respectively. It's in the Garden. They at home. They fans hurt. They want to leave it on the floor. So, San Antonio definitely got to be careful as well. I respect that for sure. And Timmy said OG has to be more assertive on offense. I think he just plays that way just to keep himself fresh on defense. But, that's just the type of player OG is, I think. And I think one take said, I think people forget OG was on that Raptors team with Kawhi. A lot of people forget, man, what he was. It was like, if you really think and watch OG, it was like he was learning so much from Kawhi Leonard. And he took what he learned and he brought that championship pedigree over, and he's playing with this New York Knicks team. And you see how much he means being here playing in these finals for this Knicks team. We talking about him. We giving him the content because he's worth it and some. And he's doing what he do. Without him, the Knicks probably would be down 3-0 right now. Guaranteed.
Facts. Hey, time 18188. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, bro. We
Yes,
work.
sir.
We gotta
Yes,
chop
sir.
it up some more. Subscribe to all our channels, but make sure you subscribe to my channel at Postgame 86.
Yes, sir. Make sure y'all hear that, man. Y'all all subscribe to that post game 86. When I say the brother dropping jewels, and I ain't even talking about the ones you got to go get at the store. These jewels is free. All you got to do is go to that channel, you like, you subscribe, you're going to get it all. It's over 1,000 videos. And when I say, I just said it, the gems is dropped and they free, but you could definitely donate and all that good stuff with the coins and the live chats as well. For me, man, it's just I'm ready for this game, man. I can't wait to see, you know, some of the things that we look for. See how Brunson, will he be that assertive or will he try to get everybody involved from the start? Will the Knicks stay out of foul trouble early in those quarters? Will they make the right calls? Will they make those adjustments? Will the refs have they hat on or will they have a whistle tucked in their shirt?
Let me ask you this, Moss.
Yes,
How do
sir.
you Hey, one take is crazy,
Nah,
man.
I
Hey,
got it on me, but I don't have it too loud, Zay. I got it on me. I don't have it too loud, Zay.
hey, let me ask you this, bro. How do you think appreciate that time? Do you think the refs favor the Knicks tonight? Or do you think they going is sort of a backlash? Do you think they gonna favor the Knicks tonight?
I think they I think they definitely gonna favor the Knicks, but I think they gonna look to see who actually plays without the ref's involvement, who plays and not look for that call from the ref and just play, knowing everything from the game to the streets. I think all of that stuff have something to do with this game four, man, which is crazy. Because if you think about the calls that was made, the way the fans reacted after the game, the way the fans reacted throughout the day today. If some people that's watching seen some of those videos, I think all of that goes into tonight. They got to let them play, and the team that's being physical and setting that tone. I think the whistles go their move to their favor, and that's setting the tone. That's being aggressive. That's keeping that tempo, and just playing playoff NBA Finals basketball, knowing what's at stake. You playing for NBA trophy, that Finals trophy.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of letting the players play, but at the same time, they can't let it get out of hand.
Agree, totally agree. I'm always the same way. Sportsmanship first over anything. You can't do that. I'm always one of the guys that's trying to break something up or something going on, but I'm just not one to tolerate it. But don't think you're gonna bully me on anybody's basketball court. Don't care who you are, 7 foot, 7'10". I'm not gonna just let you do whatever on a basketball court. But sportsmanship is first and foremost for sure. But other than that, anything else that you had to say to the people this evening before we get out of here and tune in to this great game four between the Knicks and the Spurs this evening?
Man, 614 Ben, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe, man. We out here working. WTP Sports News is out here working. So make sure y'all show some love and smack that like
Yes.
button. Slap it.
Man, slap that bug like you slapping your mom after some of that food she cooked on a Sunday, man. No disrespect, but respect, man. And we appreciate everybody tuning in this evening with us. Make sure you go like and subscribe to all the channels. You got One Take Zay. He was in the comments. You got Parlay Poe of Blissburg. You got City League TV. You got SEC Sean. You see Post Game 86 here. Make sure you go like and subscribe. You see that picture in his background of the goats all through that image. And then myself, Mossberg, Level Up Sports 10. And then we got the man that put us all together at WTP for Life, Unc, as we call him, man. We appreciate y'all coming in with us this evening. But as for us, man, we got to get up out of here because we got to cook up some stuff and get ready for y'all for the next show. Because game four tonight, we're going to be talking game five as well. So other than that, man, we out of here. And as T1 say, we was in the building and now we out the building. Peace.
Shout out to Ballard, man. Shout out to my homie.
Shout out to Ballard, man. Appreciate you in here with us, man. Can't wait to see you and meet you personally, man. Appreciate it.